Welcome back. So a viewer's question on this one, a very specific question from a viewer. I've got my phone here so I can find the name of that viewer. It was Kelly Marsh, and she asked me how to do a demonstration properly, and I didn't understand what the question meant. I'm still trying to find the question now. Still trying to find it. I can't find it. How to do it properly, but I didn't understand what she meant, like from start to finish or whatever. And I could literally do an hour and a half lecture on a demonstration. So I had to ask her what she meant, and it was something along the lines of she's about to take her first demonstration. And what is the right way to do it? How do we do this? So if I do the format of a demonstration, because we're all different and we will all do it a different way, and I do a lot of demonstrations, so I think I'm qualified in that sense to talk about how a demonstration should go and what adheres to rules and regulations that are governed not by me. So someone else has to implement them through laws or acts or whatever. And so I'll cover it like that, I think. I think that's going to be the best way to do it, ain't it? So that's what we'll be talking about in this video. So there is a very big difference between a divine service and an evening of clairvoyance or an evening of mediumship. I don't know what you call them around the globe, but one is very like a religious aspect. There will be a lot of hymns sung. There will be an inspirational talk or an address. That's the divine service, followed by some mediumship. And an evening of clairvoyance or an evening of mediumship, an evening of communication, whatever you call it, will be you've got your time slot. Let's say it's an hour and a half. Someone will introduce you, whether that be on a mic or whatever. They'll introduce you. Then the evening is handed over to you, and from there you take the reins. It's your time, your evening, your show, whatever again you want to call it that. So what we have to do is understand which one it is that you're doing. She didn't state which one she was doing, whether it be a divine service or an evening of mediumship. But they're very, very similar in their setup. You'll both be introduced, and then you will be opening in a prayer. Here in the UK, it's law at a divine service that we have to open in prayer because it's a religious act. So we have to open in prayer by law. And in my opinion, I think it's nice to open in prayer. You're inviting everyone, you're setting the intention of what's going to happen for the evening, and you're inviting them to join a conversation with your God for that moment. Then a divine service, you'll be offered, songs or whatever, just to sort of lift the energy. That's what it's used for. Sing away, and then followed by an address or an inspirational talk. That address or inspirational talk should last 15 minutes. So on your hour and a half, you're already 25 minutes in to your demonstration, leaving you 1 hour left at the end. For an evening of mediumship, you've only had the introduction. So for your hour and a half, once they've done the housekeeping part of it all, and you've said your bit at the beginning, you're probably left with an hour and 20 minutes, something along those lines. Hour and 15, hour and 10 minutes at the end of your time slot. Then it comes to the mediumship part that you need to be going to. So you're about to start with your first communication. Now the communications are set, it seemed that the best time frame for anybody to be working mediumship, the going time rate here in the UK is 7 to 10 minutes per communication. So let's just round that up to 10 just for the sake of the video, and we can break it down very easily. So if you have an hour and 10 minutes left, you should be doing 7 communications because that's your time slot. Now you know what you've got to do ahead. You've got to get one in and get one out 7 times over. So you know what's happening, and on a divine service, you're probably left with an hour, so it'll be six communications. Now, the reason it's given the 7 to 10 minutes is because we have all been to that demonstration where they're 30 seconds long, or they're 1 minute long, or they're 25 minutes long, and somewhere in between all these other communications are there. Now, in my opinion, I think the 7 to 10 benchmark there is adequate. It's more than enough. Now, obviously, there are some where I think, oh, I need to wrap this one up and get out, or I wish I could spend longer with this person. But if I keep the time frame, there will be a clock in the room somewhere, and you can monitor how you're getting on through the evening, how much longer you have left to work, and what is expected of you. So the 7 to 10 minute mark is perfect, really. I advise that you don't do the 20-minute links or the 25-minute links that you tend to get at theatre shows or these big events by the big names. This is just, again, in my opinion, I think you lose your audience. I think that it's nice at first and they hear what's going on, but in the end you lose the audience. And yeah, you may have done a good job of doing that communication for 25 minutes. However, you've lost the rest of the audience. There will be a few people that just are in sheer admiration of the person at the front, but the majority of your audience has been lost. Therefore, there will be a loss of energy, loss of attention, and you will certainly feel this in your demonstration. Even on my big ticket events, when I'm doing theatre, I still keep it to 10 minutes. That way, if I've got 300 people in front of me, and I've got an hour and a half to go, so that's 90 minutes, I'm going to be doing 9 communications. So still only 9 out of the 300 are going to get a communication. When you up it to 20 minutes, you halve that. You're going to be doing 4, maybe 6, depending if you're having an interval or not. But the underlie there for Kelly was how do you do a dem properly, and that baseline that we're working to, your time frame should be 7 to 10 minutes per communication. I don't really want to go into how you should be presenting, because that's something that's unique to the individual. You know, some people do throw out mediumship, some people go to an area, some people go direct. When I'm doing a demonstration, I try to incorporate all 3. Just to keep everyone on their toes, keep the energy right, and I'm showing them what I have in the locker as a medium through my development. I am able to go to an area, I am able to go direct, and I am able to throw it out, and all the links will be different. That it won't feel like it's the same communication over and over and over again. And again, this is something that I think is unique to the individual. Some people are only confident or only comfortable in working in their very routine way that they learn in circle or in their online groups. So my advice there, just for me, is your presentation, present to your strengths, because you've got a lot of time to fill, but try and remember from the audience point of view how that's going to come across. And then you'll find yourself at the end of the evening. So you want to wrap this up, you want to thank the people for coming, and then ideally close in prayer. You opened in prayer, so close in prayer. Just giving it a nice tidy finish. But as I said to you, if I went into the presentation aspects of it, I could be here for hours and hours and hours, and it would be to-ing and fro-ing, and it would be another one of those videos where we have millions of opinions that are coming from all angles on what should and shouldn't be said, or how it should be presented, how it shouldn't be presented, what you should do. So I don't really want to go down that route just yet. Maybe in the future I will do a video on that. What I will say when you are presenting is don't step off of your stage, don't step off of your platform. That's something that is, it looks very unprofessional. I've been to demonstrations where there is a definite stage, there is a definite platform, and they're stepping off, going to the second row from the back, and meaning the entire audience is having to turn around and try and listen or try and hear what's going on. So if there is a platform, use the platform. Do not step off of it. Do not just talk to your said client. Just fix there. Remember that you may have 20 people. You may have 120 people in front of you. So you need to keep all of their attention. So although keep referring back to the one recipient, you still need to engage here. Preferably, I personally don't like when people are running up and down the platform like a caged tiger. I like it when maybe there's a little bit of movement, but not too much movement, because it becomes distracting. And also be mindful of repeating the same word over and over again, because that will also capture the attention of your audience. And once they've captured it, they won't let it go. So you may be someone that says okay all the time. At the end, then you need to find different ways on how to say okay. And in my own personal taste, I don't like it when you ask them to take the information. So I have a father, you'd understand this is your father, please. It almost feels like you're begging them, please take this, please take it. But that's my own preference. Other than that, I think the time frame now, 7 to 10 minutes, and then your personality. People are coming to see you, so let's get your personality out with the freedom of your mediumship. Understandably, you're going to be nervous, it's your first one, but as you grow into it, your personality should shine through, and people will come for your personality, for your showmanship, for your mediumship, for your stage presence. And that's how I would set that up. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Like it if you liked it, comment because that helps the channel, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.